All right, we're about to jump into a really powerful story. It's about a military commander, believe it or not, a muddy river, and a lesson on pride that is just as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. We're going to break down the Jordan Dip, 7 Steps to Healing Pride.
You know, this quote right here, it just gets right to the heart of the story we're exploring. It's a bit of a paradox, isn't it? The idea that to get what you desperately want, a solution, a real breakthrough, you often have to let go of the very thing you think makes you strong. And that thing? It's your pride.
But seriously, just think about this for a second. What if the cure for your biggest problem felt like an insult? I mean, really. You've got this huge, life-altering issue, and the solution someone offers you just seems, beneath you. It feels too simple, maybe even ridiculous. So would you take it? That is the exact dilemma at the very heart of this story.
Okay, so let's meet the man who's right in the middle of this whole crisis. His name is Naaman.
So Naaman, this guy pretty much had it all. I mean, he was a celebrated war hero, a man of incredible power, super respected. On the outside, he was the absolute picture of success. But, and this is a big but, behind closed doors, he was dealing with a secret crisis, something that all his power and influence couldn't even touch. He had leprosy, which was, a truly devastating disease back then.
So you can imagine he's desperate for a cure. He travels to see a prophet. And this is where the story takes a really fascinating turn. He shows up with his horses, his chariots, the whole entourage. I mean, he's expecting a grand reception, right? He's a big deal. But what he gets is something very, very different.
And right here, you can just feel the massive gap between what he expected and what actually happened. Naaman was probably picturing some grand, dramatic, maybe even magical event. Instead, the prophet doesn't even come out to meet him. Can you believe that? He just sends a messenger out with this shockingly simple instruction. Go wash yourself 7 times in the Jordan River.
And Naaman's reaction? Oh, it's pure outrage. He is furious. The Jordan River? He's probably thinking, you've got to be kidding me. It was just a muddy, unimpressive little local river. He had way bigger, cleaner, better rivers back home. So the crucial thing to get here is that his anger wasn't about the task being hard. It was about it being so simple. It felt like a direct insult to his ego.
So he's about to just storm off. He's ready to abandon his only shot at getting healed, all because his pride is wounded. In this moment right here, this is the critical moment of decision. It is the turning point of the entire story.
And just as he's about to leave, one of his own servants comes up to him with this just brilliant, simple question. The servant points out, hey, if the prophet had told you to do some great, heroic, difficult thing, you would have done it in a heartbeat, right? So why not just do this small, simple thing?
And that's the choice we all face, isn't it? I mean, how many times is the solution to our problems staring us right in the face, but it requires us to swallow our pride, to admit we need help, or to do something that just feels, beneath us? It really comes down to this: pride versus progress.
Okay, so this is where the story shifts and becomes this really practical framework. Naaman's journey from pure rage to total healing, it isn't just a story, it's more like a map. It actually gives us 7 clear steps for overcoming our own pride.
And here they are. This is the path Naaman took. First, acknowledge your need. Then, seek help, no matter where it comes from. Listen to humble counsel. 4, release your expectations. 5, embrace the simple solution. 6, take the first step in faith. And finally, 7, follow through with humility. He did every single one of these things, from start to finish. Now, if you ask me, step 4 is the absolute game changer here. Release your expectations. The moment Naaman let go of how he thought his healing was supposed to look, that's when he became open to how it could actually happen. His own expectations were literally a barrier, a locked door, and letting them go, that was the key that unlocked it.
And that number, 7, it's so important here. It really illustrates this theme of completion. 7 dips in the river. 7 steps to humility. He had to fully, 100% commit. I mean, 1 dip wouldn't have done it. 6 dips wouldn't have done it. It required a complete act of obedience and humility to see the whole thing through.
So, Naaman does it. He goes down to the Jordan, he dips himself 7 times, and just like that, his skin is completely restored. But the real transformation, the real healing, wow, it went so much deeper than that.
And this, right here, is what the story is truly about. Yeah, the physical healing was the outcome, but the true miracle? That was the transformation on the inside. Think about it. Naaman went into that water an arrogant commander, and he came out a humble, grateful man.
I mean, just let that sink in for a second. The very thing he totally scorned, that muddy water, it became the instrument of his salvation, both for his body and for his soul. It cleansed him on the outside for sure, but it completely humbled him on the inside.
And that really brings us to the final and maybe most important question. The question for you. What is that simple, humbling step that you've been avoiding? You know what I'm talking about. Maybe it's an apology you need to make, or some advice you know you need to take, or just some simple task that feels, well, beneath you. So what is your Jordan River? And are you willing to take the dip?